Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Everything Arsenal, that's the wrong channel. That's the wrong channel. Everything Football, that is the correct channel. So, welcome to Everything Football. We are back here. That shows you've been really away from UCL fantasy for like 2-3 months. That is for sure. But we are back. We are back, guys. Let me know how you guys are feeling. We are back. Champions League fantasy. I cannot wait. So, I'll be revealing one player every single 10 minutes. I'm still not sure about my team anyway. I'm waiting for the Real Madrid team news and the Man City team news. But there's a couple of players that I'm sure are definitely going to be in my team. So let me know how you guys are feeling. Let me know any questions that you have in the chat. As I said, I'll be revealing one player every 10 minutes. And I'm going to actually start with one right away. So there's one player that is definitely going to be in my team. Let's start with the defender. Let's go with defender. Where are you? William Saliba is definitely going to be in my team. So that is the first reveal of the first 10 minutes. So we'll be doing another one in the next 10 minutes. That's my first reveal, though. Saliba is definitely going to be in my team. Nice seeing you guys as always. Ray says, as irregular, it's my duty to come 3 hours early. I appreciate it as always. Burns says, Joe, how are you? Ray says Kane, Fulkrug, Haaland, Chananoglu, Kimmich, Foden, Zaire Emery, Saka, Hamels, Hakimi, Cancelo, Gabriel, Ederson. Some thoughts and suggestions. I do like the forward line. I'm also kind of trying to choose between Fulkrug and De Jong and Alvarez. It's very tough. I'm waiting for the Man City and Real Madrid team news. Chalanoglu is on penalty is always a good pick. Kimmich, I know it's cheaper, but I'm not sure about Bayern recently. I feel like there's other better picks. Foden, let's wait for the Man City team news first. Emre, I do like him, cheaper option, especially if you can't afford Mbappe. Saka for sure. I mean, Saka for sure. Hamels, Hakimi. I also feel like PSV will score a couple of goals against Dortmund. So I'm not very sure about that pick as well. Hakimi always a great attacking pick. Kim Min-jae, Edison, so I don't mind the goalkeepers at all. Defensively as well, maybe Hamels, I'm not sure about. So from that team, Hamels and Kimmich, I'm not 100% sure about. I'll be looking at players from Inter Milan, maybe another. You already have, how many players do you have from Arsenal? 2. I'll definitely be looking to add another Man City player. How many do you have? 3? I think 3 is kind of enough, but I'd be very tempted to go to 4. For now, Ray, I'm going to save that question before I suggest for you. I'm going to wait for the Real Madrid team news and the Man City team news. I'll make sure to come to that. Omar says, hey, how are you? RK says, hi, Glenn. FIFABot says, hi. Nice seeing you guys as always. Thank you, Ray. Javob, nice seeing you, bro, as always. Baron says, I'm back. Nice seeing you. Real Madrid lineup is out. Thank you, FIFABot. I'm going to check that right now. See, Saliba is currently in my team too. Arsenal a bit too good right now. You know it, huh? You know it. Are we going to win the league? I'm not so sure about it. We are so unlucky, man. As an Arsenal fan, we are so unlucky because Man City is there. Like if Man City were not there, we'd win like 3 league titles in a row. I can't wait for Guardiola to just leave Man City and just go away and just let us win some titles. But yeah, in the Champions League, I still respect Porto. I watched the game the other day. They lost, but I still respect them in terms of scoring and all that. But if it was if it was a home game, I'd actually even go for 4 Arsenal players. Best midfielders for 5.8 million or below, says Nolik. We'll come to that question right away. Let me just say hi to everyone. Double Arsenal defense safe. For the away game, I'd go for 1 maximum. Believe me, as an Arsenal fan, I want 4 Arsenal players, but because of my rank, I don't want to go for 4 Arsenal players and then we lose, and then it's double heartbreak, and then I drop down the ranking. So for the away game, I'd be looking at 2 or maybe 3 maximum, but defensively, just 1. Let's see. Who do you think is the best midfielder for 7.2 million? Exactly 7.2. Around that price, I'd be looking at players like Thuram. I'd even look at a player like Declan Rice. These days, he takes the Arsenal set pieces, and they're very good. And Arsenal have scored the most corners. So Declan Rice around 6 million. Thuram as well. Mendes from Real Sociedad. What about Sasha Boy? I saw he signed for a team recently. I mean, I wouldn't go for him right away. Best 2 goalkeepers. Is it shocking that I did not pick Real Madrid due to injuries? FIFA boards, Ray. Noli, I'm coming to your questions. Let me just check the Real Madrid lineup so we know what we are talking about. Real Madrid usually release their lineups very, very early. I'm so happy to see you guys back, man. Champions League football is back. Why is the Real Madrid team? Let's see. Is it out yet? I think it's out, right? Please, load up quickly. I mean, buying aren't that bad right now. Yeah, they aren't bad. I mean, it's just because Leverkusen are very good. I know. I'm sure if Leverkusen weren't there, Bayern Munich have not lost like that many games as well. They have a good points total. It's just because the first game is away from home. That's I'm kind of a bit chilled on Arsenal and Bayern and those guys. I'd be going for maybe 2 maximum players, and I think Bayern will concede. That's the thing. Unbeaten even. If it weren't Leverkusen, Bayern would be leading the league by a big margin. That's true. I'm sure Stuttgart and Dortmund are very far behind. Ahmad says Rice or Rodri. It's usually Rodri, but as I said, I'm going to go for Rice because he's on set pieces for Arsenal, and Arsenal score a lot of corners and free kicks, so I'm going to go for him. But Rodri has the easier fixture, so I'd maybe say 55% Rodri, 45% Rice, because Rodri has the easier fixture. Lunin, Carvajal, Tchouaméni, Nacho, Reyes signed the team. I appreciate it. Lunin, Carvajal, Tchouaméni, Nacho, Mendy, Valverde, Cruz, Camavinga, Rodrigo, Brahimi, and Vinicius Jr. So that is Vinicius and Rodrigo up front, Valverde, Cruz. Defensively, I wouldn't go for them. I expect those guys to score. I expect Leipzig to score. Vinicius is so expensive, man. Vinicius is so expensive. That's the problem. Let me read your questions earlier. Where you? Ray was the first one. So Ray says Kane full crew Kane. I don't mind that attack, Ray. Goalkeepers, I don't mind as well. Defensively, I think Lazio will score against Bayern, but I see why you've gone for Kim. You already have PSG cover, Gabriel. I'd be really considering having another Man City defender instead of Hamels. I'd go for someone like a Walk or someone. Let's wait for the Man City team news. Midfield: Saka, Emre, Foden, Kimmich, Çalhanoğlu. I mean, Kimmich takes set pieces as well, and it's very cheap, and he gets assists, and then he gets recovery points. So actually, thinking about it, he can get you recovery points. I don't mind Hakimi, but I wouldn't go for two of them. So I'd be looking to either take out Kim or Hamels, one of them. I'd be taking out one of them. I don't trust Bayern and Dortmund in terms of keeping clean sheet in the first leg. Who was the next one? FIFA bot said two best goalkeepers. I'd still stick with Ramiro from Real Sociedad, and potentially Ederson is maybe a guaranteed clean sheet, but he won't get you too many save points. But I'll go for Ederson. Let's see. I answered Hamad's question. I said around that price, Thuram, Mendes, and those guys. Which one did I miss? Opinions on a Barca attacker. Napoli are bad right now. I mean, yeah, Barca are scoring goals, but they're also conceding a bunch. So I think it's going to, both teams are going to score. I'm thinking about Roque as a differential. 1-2 differentials is not that bad, Jacob. I don't mind it. I think it's a good pick, but since it's an away game, I still have a feeling it's like a draw. I know they drew 3-3 with Granada the other day. I'm thinking a draw with Napoli, something like 1-1 or something. So it's not a bad differential, Jacob. Baron says my team for now: Kane, Haaland, Rodrigo. That is fine. KDB, Rodri, Saka, Zaire, Rome, Saliba, Kim, Joao Cancelo, Di Lorenzo, Çalhanoğlu, Lunin, and Ramiro. Goalkeepers, that's fine. Lunin would be my third option in terms of goalkeepers, by the way, to answer FIFA bot's question. Di Lorenzo, Cancelo, Kim. A lot of people have gone for Kim. I've not even considered Kim at all. Literally, I've not considered him at all. Kane, for defensively, your goalkeepers are fine. Your strikers are fine. I'd be a little bit worried about how many Arsenal players do you have? Saka, Saliba. You have Saliba. That is fine. Baron. You have Man City cover, Haaland, KDB, Rodri. That is fine as well. Actually, the team is good. I wouldn't be really rushing to make any changes. Maybe Kim for an Inter Milan defender or an Atletico Madrid defender, because they usually get a lot of recovery points. Harry Kane, Haaland, Vinicius, Çalhanoğlu, Diaz, Foden, Zaire, Guerrero. Guerrero is an interesting pick. Madsen, wow, interesting. You've gone for Dortmund. I mean, I have Madsen in my Bundesliga fantasy, and he got an assist the other day. Ake, Ederson, Soma, Saka, Saliba, Di Marco. That looks good. Let's see. Let's wait and see whether Ake starts, though. I'm not sure if Ake starts. Man, the team news is taking so much time to come this time. I'm going to come to your question. So how about Man City defender and Molina? I do like Molina. Man City defender for sure. I think Man City defender, you have to have a Man City defender. In defense, I'm taking Saliba, Diaz, Cancelo, Upamecano, Sula. Whom should I change? Cancelo, Upamecano. I'm not sure about Upamecano for sure. I'm not sure about him. I'd go for, how much is Upamecano? Let me confirm. Buying. Where's buying? Defender. Upamecano is 5 million. I'd be looking to change that to an Inter Milan defender. Let's see, Inter Milan. If you have money in the bank, I mean, you can go for players like Di Marco if you have that 0.3 million in the bank. So I'd be looking to go for an Inter Milan defender, FIFA bots. I know Atletico Madrid have been very good attacking, but Inter Milan have been very good recently. I watched them just smash Roma the other day. Thoughts on Camavinga? Could be a good option, but I've not considered him. I'd not have him in my team. But if you want a differential, you can go for him. But in terms of Real Madrid, even without Bellingham, I wouldn't have him in my top three options for my Real Madrid. Kim is great at defending. I know, in terms of defending, he's very good. But what about the team overall and coming up against Lazio? I think Lazio will score. Bayern were not even that great in the group stage. I think they conceded to Copenhagen, to Man United, 3 goals. They conceded to Galatasaray as well. I mean, they haven't been keeping a lot of clean sheets. Could you just switch Kane to Vini or Mbappe? I don't know about any of them is a very good pick. I'm still trying to decide between them. Kane has a tough away game, so does Vinicius. Mbappe has a home game. Mbappe could be playing like as a center forward, so I'd be edging towards Mbappe. So I've gone for 10 my second pick. Let me reveal. This is not a secret one, so I'm going to go for the forward player. Unless he doesn't start, Erling Haaland has to be there. So if I forget after 10 minutes, let me know. So Haaland is my next pick there. Haaland is definitely going to be in my team for sure. No doubt about that. Let's see if he's going to start, though. I'm sure he's going to start. Let's see. Will Raya start? Yes, 100%. Kim snatching 11 ball recoveries a game. That could be the only reason why I might go for him, but I don't expect a clean sheet. So if you're happy with around 5 points around that, I think you can go for him. But if you want like a clean sheet and recovery points as well, I'll be looking at the Man City defense and maybe Arsenal defense. But I see why 11 ball recoveries per game is pretty high. So for me, I don't think I'd go for him, but I do understand for if you're looking at that, guaranteed 3 points at least, plus the 2 points for playing. If you're looking at 5 points minimum, then you can go for him. Best Bayern defender, I would go for Kim. If I was going for best Bayern defender, I would go for Kim. FIFA bots. Let me see. Molina or DiMarco, I'd go for the home team. So DiMarco. Who could replace Kim? Depends. I'd be looking at one Arsenal defender, one Man City defender, one Inter Milan defender, and then the others. It's tough. So at the end of the day, if I might end up with Kim, but I really like Raum as well in terms of set pieces for Leipzig. Cancelo is very attacking as well, even though Barcelona have not been that great defensively. Di Lorenzo is also another very good pick, as always, in terms of recovery points and getting assists and scoring goals. Di Marco as well, Inter Milan. But you don't have to take out Kim. I'm not saying he's a disastrous pick. I don't expect Lazio to score like 10 goals or anything like that. So you can stick with Kim. You can stick with Kim for sure. You might even end up convincing me to go with Kim after what Zaza said about the ball recoveries. After Arsenal 6-0, I'm tempted to take 4 players. Their away game, maybe not really. Their home game, yes. Their away game, maybe 3 maximum. Vinicius or Kane, I'd still go for Kane because of the penalties and all. Midfielder with 7.6. Luis, let me know which other midfielders you have in your team first. Let me know. I'm trying to find the teams. I can't find the teams. Real Madrid. Okay, so I have Real Madrid team. Ray has already given me. So Vinicius, Brahim, Rodrigo, Camavinga, Kroos, Valverde, Mendy, Nacho, Tchouaméni, Carvajal, and Lunin. On the bench, Kepa, Modric, Joselu, Ceballos, Vasquez, Garcia, Gola. That's fine. Let me know how many Madrid players are you going for. I'm looking for the Man City team. That's the one I'm really interested in. And also Leipzig team. The teams are out now, says Baron. Kane, Haaland, Vinicius, that's very strong. Saha, Chananoglu, Brahim Diaz, Foden, Zaire, Guerrero, Madsen, Soma, Saka, Saliba, and DiMarco. You've gone for 2 Inter Milan defenders in Soma and DiMarco. I think Atletico Madrid will score. Personally, if you have the Inter Milan goalkeeper, I wouldn't really go for the defender as well. Atletico, I think, will score. Morata and Griezmann especially has been really good this season. Does Rodrigo play? Yes, he does. He does. Foden, Saka, Zaire, Chananoglu, and have 7.6 more. Foden, Saka, Zaire, Chananoglu. So you already have Inter Milan, Saka, 7.6 million. You already have Man City, Arsenal, PSG, and Inter Milan, so you're missing. That's another tough one. I'll be maybe looking to double up on one of the teams. I think Inter Milan Thuram is good because he plays as a forward and is a midfield in the game. So probably Thuram, Luis. I'd go for Thuram from Inter Milan. I know it's dangerous to go for the double up, but Thuram has been really, really good. As a Bayern fan who watches all Bayern games, advised to pick a Bayern defender, 100% not a clean sheet. Well, there goes Jacob's advice. Personally, I don't think I'm going to go for Bayern Munich defender, but I do understand the recovery points with Kim and stuff. Raya plus Kim, DiMarco, Sommer plus Gabriel. Raya plus Kim or DiMarco or Sommer plus Gabriel. Sommer plus Gabriel. Gabriel scores a bunch of goals for us, so you can easily get your goal. Being a Madrid fan, as long as Bellingham comes back, I'm not tempted to take anyone. Interesting. City Extra, post check it out. City Extra. Morata is injured, and also Bellingham. Bellingham, I'm aware. Morata, I'm not sure. I've not checked Morata. When was he injured? As long as Griezmann is there, though, I still feel like he's going to score. City Extra. Is Zaire a bad choice? Nope. I think it's a good choice for that prize. And I still feel PSG are going to win the home game. So City Extra, our Man City's team needs Ederson, Walker, Stones, Diaz, Ake, Rodri, De Bruyne, Foden, Bernardo, Haaland, Grealish. Oof, they're going to score at least 3 goals in this game. Should I pick Trossard release start? That is very tough if about Trossard. Jesus could be back, and Partey could be back by that game as well. So depending on how Arsenal is going to approach, I would say Trossard doesn't start that one. Usually in their away games in the Champions League, Arteta usually goes for Jorginho in midfield, which means Rice goes a bit forward and Odegaard is there as well. So if I was to bet right now, I'd say Trossard doesn't start, but it's very hard because recently Arteta has been like Guardiola's rotation. Sometimes Martinelli starts, sometimes Trossard starts up front, sometimes Havertz starts. So the good thing with Champions League fantasy bots, you can have Trossard in your team and have him on the bench. And then when the Arsenal team comes out next week, if he starts, you just bring him on. If he doesn't, you just leave him on the bench. So that is if you don't have too many other differentials. If you only want Trossard as a differential, you can go for him because he's also been good for Arsenal in the Champions League this season. But in terms of starting, I'd say 70% he doesn't start that one, 30% he starts, depending on if Jesus is fit. Foden, Saka, Zaire, Yamal, and 7.6 million left, says Leo. Foden, Saka, Zaire, Yamal. Yamal is an interesting pick. I'd go for an Inter Milan midfielder, so Thuram or Çalhanoğlu. Vini and Diaz at the same time, or change Vini to put KDB and Jesus, Malen, or Rug. I'd go for the second option. I wouldn't go for both Vinicius and Diaz at the same time. I like that KDB and full Krugam option. Jesus, I'm not 100% sure if he's going to be fit. That's why. If he was definitely fit, I'd say yes to Jesus. Make sure to hit the like button, by the way, if I've answered your question. Foden, Vinicius, or Foden plus Vinicius or KDB and Jesus. Marlon Rodriguez says Marcus. Foden plus Vinicius or KDB. I have a bad feeling that De Bruyne is going to punish people who don't have him, but to fit him in the team, you're going to have to really spread the money, and I don't know how the hell we're going to do that. KDB plays Baron, yes. Foden plus Vinicius, KDB. I still go for the first option now, Marcus, Foden and Vinicius. How about a City defender and Saliba instead of Hamels and Kim? Yeah, now you're talking, Ray. That one, I do like that. Saliba and a Man City defender. Walker is starting, Stones is starting, Diaz and Ake. Ake is a very cheap defender in the game, and he can actually score goals as well. I'm sure he scored in the Champions League this season. He can get you even a goal. Doubling on Arsenal defense during West Ham game, I had Saliba on my FPL bench. Never bench Arsenal players, Ray. I didn't have Saliba, I have Gabriel. For defense right now, I'm thinking Ederson, Raya, 2 Inter defenders, Man City defender, Dortmund defender, unsure on what player right now. Ederson, Raya, that is fine. 2 Inter Milan defenders, I'd be going for 1 maximum because I respect Atletico in terms of scoring goals this season. They're not the old Atletico that used to win 1-0. This one I've seen them scoring 6, I think 5. Man City defender, And also Inter Milan, I saw them conceding a few goals to Roma recently. Dortmund defender, and Sean what player right now. Man City, I'd be choosing between Ake and Walker, one of them. Dortmund defender. Tough, man. I'm seeing a lot of people going for. I think I would go for Schlotterbeck because he gets some assists and stuff. So Schlotterbeck could be my pick, but personally, I'm not going to go for a Dortmund defender, especially at PSV. PSV score a bunch of goals. Rodri, Foden, Saka pick the other two, thinking of Brahim and Simmons. Rodri, Foden, Saka pick the other two. Rodri, Foden, Saka. Again, bots, it really depends on who else you have in your team, but I'd be choosing between Thuram and Çalhanoğlu from Inter Milan. And then from those Brahim and Simmons, I'd fancy the home team. I'm going to go for Simmons. Mbappe or Vini, this is a tight one. I'd say 52% Mbappe because it's at home, and then 48% Vinicius. Thoughts on Bryce Mendes? I want to punt on him, and I think PSG will concede. He's been great. Real Sociedad have been great this season, so you can go for him for sure. That is definitely in my top 10 midfield picks for the round of 16. Mendes, Omar. Sommer, Lunin, Saliba, Hakimi, Diaz, Ake, and Kim. Thoughts? Sommer, Lunin, that is fine. Saliba, Hakimi, Diaz, Ake, and Kim. Saliba, Hakimi. I'm happy with that. I'd still you already have Sommer, so that is fine. As long as you have Inter Milan, Cava, Arsenal, and Man City, I think that is fine. I'm a bit scared about doubling up on defenders, on any team's defenders, though. Next up, my next pick. Let me reveal my next pick right now. So far, I have Saliba and Haaland. Let me go to goalkeeper. Let me reveal a goalkeeper. Let's go to Inter Milan. He is in my team. Sommer is in my team. So that is the third pick in my team. Sommer will definitely be in my team at 4.5 million. Kobel, Sommer already took 2 Arsenal defense. So if you already have 2 Arsenal defense, don't go for Ray. I don't think we are going to keep a clean sheet after FC Porto. I've gone for Sommer, so there is your answer. Should I replace Kim with the Man City defender? You'll have 4 City players. If you don't have a City defender, then yes, that includes the goalkeeper. If you have Ederson, then don't go for a defender. But if you don't have Ederson and you don't have a City defender, then you can pick Ake or Walker. I'd do that. DiMarco, Sula, Kim. DiMarco because he has a home game. I'm more tempted on Rico Lewis. He has been great in UCL. I mean, he doesn't start, so that helps. We get the team news. Ezra, man, missed you too. And do you think Latson? Do you mean Matson? Let me know if you mean Matson. If it's Matson you're talking about, yes. Madsen and Schlotterbeck, both of them. Madsen is good in terms of going forward on that left wing. So, yeah, I think is a good option, Ezra Madsen, in terms of going forward. If it starts also one more player reveal, yes, I've done that. What do you think of Bakayoko? I think PSV are very good. De Jong, Bakayoko, all those guys. As a punt, yes, you can go for him as a differential, Ezra. I do like that as a differential. Thuram, Çalhanoğlu. I'm very caught between those 2 players. I'll definitely have one of them. Thuram goes forward a lot. He scores goals. I watched the Roma game. He scored a couple of goals. He was really good. Çalhanoğlu takes penalties. And I think he scored like 9 penalties this season. Inter Milan get a lot of penalties. So that's a tough one, FIFA boss. That's like a coin toss. By myself, I'm still trying to decide. But I'd be slightly edging for Thuram because it's slightly cheaper. Best 8 million defender. To answer that question, it depends on who else you have in your team. I'd go for cheaper ones, but I'd potentially say Foden because he's starting. How much is Foden? I hope the price didn't go up. Let me see. Foden. I hope Foden is around that 8.1 million. Can you afford that? I'd go for Foden because he's been on very good form recently. If you have that 0.1 million extra, Ezra, you have Foden already. That would be my best pick. Let me know the rest of your midfield, Ezra, and then I can answer that question. I do like that Bakayoko pick, though. I do like that Bakayoko pick for sure. So next player reveal in 6 minutes. I just wanted to wait for the Man City Real Madrid team news. Now that we have, let me see the Leipzig team news. Foden, De Bruyne, Rodri, Bernardo, Haaland, Grealish. How much is Grealish? 7.9 million. The problem with Grealish, he could be subbed off. That's why I don't like it. But Foden... Oh, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. But this is a very, very good pick. Though. So as you guys keep sending your questions, let me give you my predictions for the Champions League games if it can help you make your decision. So Copenhagen Man City is the first game. I think Man City are going to win that one, especially with that squad that they have. I'm going to go for Copenhagen 1, Man City 3. So I'm predicting Man City to concede because they concede a bunch of goals, but I'm going for them to score 3 goals. I actually feel like it's not a bad idea to go for 2+ players in the attacking players from Man City. So Haaland and someone else. Haaland has to be in your team plus someone else. Leipzig, Real Madrid, I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Second leg, I think Real Madrid will win, but first leg, I think Leipzig will get something to use in the next round. The next fixture after that, tomorrow, we'll have PSG and Real Sociedad. I have gone for, let me type it. I've gone for PSG to win the first leg. Sociedad have been great, but I'm going to go for PSG to win the first leg by 2-1. Lazio against Bayern. I do think Bayern will win despite everything that I've said, but I do think they will concede. So I've gone for Lazio 1, Bayern 2. The next week, PSV and Dortmund. I've gone for PSV to beat Dortmund 2-1. So all of these games will have something to play for in the second leg. Inter Milan against Atletico. I've gone for Inter to win that game 2-1. So I've gone for a lot of teams to score. I'm not seeing a lot of clean sheets. Then the final day next week, FC Porto, Arsenal. I've gone for Arsenal to win 2-1. And then Napoli, Barcelona, I've gone for a 2-2 draw. So I am expecting goals in most of the games. Have I given any team a clean sheet? Nope. But if you're to ask me which team might keep a clean sheet or have the best chance to keep a clean sheet, I'd say Man City against Copenhagen. Saka, Foden, Mendes, Bakayoko still 1 for 8 million. I remember as well, Ezra, if you have money in the bank, you don't have to use all of it. Even if you save like 1 million, it can actually help you in the second leg. Usually people use the entire budget, and then next match day, you might need to bring in a player, and then you finished your subs and you only have one sub and you don't have enough money. That 1 million and stuff can help you on the bench. So I would be going for with that said, I'd be going for Çalhanoğlu, Thuram, Ezra. I'd let you choose for yourself, but Inter Milan midfielder, Thuram or Çalhanoğlu, one of them. Çalhanoğlu takes the penalties, and Thuram basically plays as a forward player and he scores a bunch of goals. So choose one of them. Do I downgrade Hakimi to put KDB instead of Foden? I would, Marcus. I definitely would. I have a feeling that Man City will thump Copenhagen badly. I have a feeling like they are looking to kill this game in the first leg, and second leg they don't have much to do. Walker or Akesh, shall I do a coin toss? Says Ray. I think it's a coin toss. Wow, I've said toinkos. Wow, I've mixed it up. Coin toss. Ray, you're absolutely confusing me. This shows you how much I'm panicking about my team. Walker is slightly expensive, 5.5 million. Ake is 4.5 million. I'd go for the cheaper option. I'd go for Ake because it's cheaper. Opinions on the team: Haaland, Vinicius, Roque, Foden, Thuram, Sabitzer. Wow, you've gone for Sabitzer, Saka, Sane, Saliba, Gabriel, DiMarco, Ake, Schlotterbeck, Sommer, Ederson. Goalkeepers, fine. Defensively, I'm happy with it, but listen, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I don't think I would double up on the defense. I'd go for one Arsenal defender, unless DiMarco, Ake, Schlotterbeck. Unless you're feeling really confident about Arsenal, Jevo. Personally, I feel like we're going to concede in that game at least one goal. We are still kind of new in the Champions League knockout stage. We are not used to being here. So I feel like FC Porto are very good at home. I know they lost the other day to, is it Iraq or something, but that was an away game. They lost 3-2. I mean, it's not the end of the world, because the good thing with Champions League fantasy, you can still get recovery points, and Gabriel and Saliba score a lot of goals. So you can keep them if you feel like even a clean sheet doesn't really matter. You can still keep them because they can still get you goals and recovery points. Midfield, I'm okay with, maybe apart from Sabitzer. How much is Sabitzer, man? I don't like Sabitzer as a pick. This guy, Sabitzer, Hamels, Gotze, I always confuse which teams they are because sometimes you check they're in Dortmund, sometimes you check they're in Bayern Munich. I know Sabitzer went to Man United. Actually, I'm actually not sure which team Sabitzer is in because I'm sure he's been at Dortmund and Bayern Munich. He's at Dortmund right now. He's been at both teams, correct? I'm not crazy. Sabitzer and Hamels. Sometimes you check Hamels is at Dortmund, sometimes at Bayern Munich. 5.5 million. 5.5 million. Do you have any extra money in the bank? I wouldn't be going for Sabitzer, to be honest, Javob. That pick I'd not go for at all. Downgrade Hakimi to KDB instead of Foden. Yes, I say yes to that. Will DiMarco will play full time? I think he will. From fantasy games, one thing we learn is save money in the bank. Yes, for sure. That teaches you a good life lesson. So do you think Inter better than Atletico Madrid? For the home game, yes. For the away game, I have a feeling Inter Milan will win the home game 2-1 and Atletico will win the away game 2-1 and they'll go to extra time. And then after that, you're not sure what is going to happen. Yeah, I've read the City team news already, Hamad. Good substitute for Kim at 5 million. I'd say Ake if you don't have Ake. There's Verman from Atletico, good option as well. Verman is at PSV, right? You're talking about the Verman at PSV. Let's see. Did you say Barcelona? Atletico. Wow, interesting. I know there's a Veerman at PSV. I don't know about a Veerman at Atletico Madrid. I've watched like 5 Atletico Madrid games this, and that shows you Veerman is at PSV. There's no there's Vermaelen. Okay. Wow. You know what? I've not considered this player at all. He scored 34 points this season. My goodness. The good thing with these streams, you learn from me and I also learn from you guys. That's interesting. Ezra. He scored 34 points this season. I've watched like 5 Atletico Madrid games, especially the ones they've played against Real Madrid, and it's always like it's Griezmann and Saul and Morata and all those guys. Vermaelen has got 34 points. Where the hell did he get these 34 points from? I need to do another player reveal, so I am going to go for another Man City player for sure. That's a good pick though, Ezra. You've taught me something. Let's see, midfielder. Let's go for defender. Man City. I'm going to pick Nathan Ake in my team at 4.5 million. So that is my next pick. He saves you a lot of money. So that is my next pick. It's a good option if you scored at 4 points this season. But I don't like guessing my picks unless I've really followed that player a lot. Galeno is insane too. Yes, that's why I feel like Arsenal won't keep a clean sheet because of players like Galeno. Foden, Saka, Rodri, Thuram. Who else should I pick? City 4 players done. Foden, Saka, Rodri, Thuram. That's 4. So you have Man City too, you have Arsenal, you have Thuram as well. I mean, do you feel like you need another Arsenal player? As I say, Rice takes Arsenal set pieces these days is a great option as well. Mendes from Real Sociedad is a good option as well. And also Zaire Emery from PSG is a good option. So those are 3 picks for you. But Brahim Diaz for Rodri, I'd choose Brahim Diaz in terms of that. Rodri has a very easy fixture, and sometimes he scores. I heard that they have a bet with the other Man City team that if Rodri scores 10 goals, I don't know what is going to happen. There's a bet that they have, and Rodri is looking to get 10 goals this season. I think they're going to buy him something or something crazy like that. I don't remember the actual bet, but Rodri does score some goals. So I still go for Brahim Diaz though. I'd go for Emre, Marcus. Since you're a long-term Arsenal fan, I might not double up on the defense. So thinking of Gabriel Thuram. Gabriel still scores a bunch of goals though, Ray. So I'd still consider keeping Gabriel. So I'd still edge towards 51% keeping both of them because Gabriel scores a lot of goals for Arsenal, even despite being a defender. Matsen or Ake, I'd go for Ake Exotic. Lord. Best captain for each of the 4 days. Today it has to be Haaland. Tomorrow I'd say Kane. Next week I'd say we are playing the first game next week. Next week I'd be tempted to go for a differential from PSV or something. They're the ones who are playing on Tuesday next week. Inter Milan, Atletico, PSV Dortmund. You know what? I'm going to go for Lautaro Martinez, and then on the Wednesday, I'm going to go for Saka. Please subscribe and smash the like button. Says Zaki, I appreciate it. He just joined Atletico from Antwerp. That is why I don't know him. Yes, and I actually not heard that name a lot of times. And I'm going to actually do some research on him. Has he been that very good at Atletico this season? Because I've not heard anyone talking about him at all. If I could, I would have taken 11 City players. Yeah, probably the best idea. Real Sociedad are kind of struggling to score in the La Liga recently. They failed to score in the last 4 matches. But the good thing with Champions League, they've been different. And Champions League, there's different ways you can get points. So far, I've picked Saliba, Ake, Soma, and Haaland. This is going to be very tough, man. I hate these team picks. Like, I'm about to give my next pick, but I hope you guys have seen the predictions. Hamad says Fulkrug, Haaland, Vini, De Bruyne, Foden, Emre, Ibrahim, Diaz, Saka, DiMarco, Lorenzo, Kim, Hamels, I guess you mean, and Saliba, Ramiro, and Kobel. I mean, so many of you are going for Kim, so I'm just going to tell you to stick with him. You're even kind of tempting me to go for Kim. Saka, Diaz, Emre, Foden, De Bruyne. I like that midfield. Forward line as well. I do like it. You've decided not to go for an Inter Milan attacker, which is, I don't think it's the end of the world as long as Man City really deliver today. Because if you have like 4 Man City players and the game ends like 1-0 to Copenhagen, but you won't be alone because a lot of people have those players from Man City anyway. So I do like that team, Hamad. I don't think there's any major changes that do. Maybe consider Thuram or Çalhanoğlu from Inter Milan, but if you don't want those Inter Milan players, I think the rest of the team, Hamels, Kim, Di Lorenzo, DiMarco, Hamels. I would change Hamels to Ake. I would change Hamels to Ake, Ahmad, and then that would be the only change I make, or any other Man City defender if you prefer. Thoughts on this team? Loaning some of that is fine. Philippe and I sing you, by the way. Ake, Hakimi, Saliba, Cancelo, and Schlotterbeck. Çalhanoğlu, Saka, Foden, Diaz, Emre, Kane, Haaland, Vinicius, 0.5 million in the bank. That really helps when you put it like that, Philippe, and you tell me how much money you have in the bank. Defensively, I think you're okay. Midfield, Diaz, Zaire, Kane, Haaland, Vinicius. I don't think there's too much to improve on this team, to be honest. How much is Diaz? Real Madrid midfielder. Remove Man City from here. 6.5 million. You already have Çalhanoğlu, so Brahim Diaz is a good pick. There's the fifth midfielder. There's a lot of players you can go for. There is you can go for Rodri, you can go for Rice, you can go for Thuram, you can go for Mendes at Sociedad, and you can also go for Diaz. So Diaz is okay, Philip. I think that team overall, maybe if you don't, the only thing I'd ask maybe or suggest maybe you can change is Diaz to someone else. But if you think Madrid are going to score a lot of goals, because you already have Vinicius, I'd be looking to go to another team from Brahim Diaz. But the rest of the picks, I do like them. Thinking about a whole team is difficult than choosing 1 or 2 for transfers. Yeah, for sure. I'm still not sure about my team, and we are less than 45 minutes away from the deadline. Suggest a 5.26 million midfielder. Says digitals. I'm going to give you 3 digitals. I'm going to give you Thuram. I'm going to give you Rice, and I'm going to give you Rodri as well. Gitons or Emre, same price. I answered that. Emre is another option as well. MD Digitals, Sula plus Soma or DiMarco plus Kobelo. Should I go for Kim defense? From those options, can you go for Kim and Soma? Let me know if you can go for Kim and Soma. That would be my pick. But if you can't go for that and you just want me to choose from those options, I'm going to go for Sula and Soma. My defender, Kim, Madsen, Hakimi. Wow, Lucas Hernandez. And Ake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cook has gone for. You've got to have an Arsenal defender, Cook. Saliba or Gabriel, if you can afford. You don't have to, though. You don't have to. Because Madsen is good, Hakimi is good. Lucas Hernandez, wow, I've not seen anyone picking that. I wouldn't have Lucas Hernandez in my team. I'd be looking at an Arsenal defender instead, or an Inter Milan defender. Rice, Emre, Diaz. From those three, I'd say Emre. Choose two, Hakan, Rodri, Thuram, or Diaz. Choose two. Choose two from those four. Wait, Chananoglu, Rodri, Thuram, or okay. I'd go for Thuram and Diaz. Those would be the two markers that I pick from that. Speaking of Thuram, it's time to make my next pick, and that is my next pick. Thuram is definitely going to be in my team. Inter Milan, where are you? Thuram. Welcome to my team, Thuram. So there we are so far. 5 players, 2 Man City players, 2 Inter Milan players, 1 Arsenal player. Thuram is definitely going to be in my team. Zaza says all the talk about Madsen, but Ryerson slept on for Dortmund. Less yellow cards by a mile too. I mean, Zaza seems to have some knowledge on Dortmund, so fair enough. How many points does Ryerson have this season? I mean, I play Bundesliga fantasy as well, and I have Madsen in my team. I don't have Ryerson. Maybe we should start considering him. Let's see. I mean, 4.6 million is good. Madsen is also 4.5 million. Madsen has not played Champions League football for Dortmund, so maybe they'd prefer. Maybe they'd even bench him. Who knows? So yeah, I don't have too much knowledge on Ryerson, but I'll take your word for it, Zaza. So I guess it's a coin flip, whoever you want from those two. I think about switching Gabriel for Di Lorenzo and for Sabitzer for Galeno. Think about switching Gabriel for Di Lorenzo. If I was to pick between those two, I'd have Gabriel, and then I'd potentially have Galeno. Even as an Arsenal fan, I'd still go for Galeno. Kim Opamecano says Marcel. Kim Opamecano, Kim. That is easy. If you're asking me between those two, I'd say Kim. I'm getting double Arsenal defense on the second leg. Makes sense, Kuka. Is it Kuka or Kosa or depending where you're from? Let me know how to pronounce your name. I'm going for Lucas Hernandez attacking potential this leg. Understandable. For sure. Martin is a transfer that came in January, says Ta. I understand. Personally, I don't think I'd go for Madsen, but other people are going for Madsen. I'm not sure how much he'll adapt the Champions League for Dortmund. And anyway, we are talking about Dortmund defenders, but I expect PSV to score at least 2 goals anyway. So PSV are very good attacking. De Jong and those guys are very good. So I don't expect Dortmund to keep a clean sheet. Maybe wait and see the first leg team that Dortmund will have, and then the second leg maybe we can know which team to go for. Kuka, okay, got it right, Kuka. Okay, there's others that might be pronounced as Kosa or something like that. Best defender in your opinion that isn't Man City, Inter Milan, or Arsenal? Wow, you're really taking everyone from me, Javo. Di Lorenzo is good as always. Molina, Atletico Madrid is good as well. Dimarco is Inter Milan. Potentially those two. I don't expect a lot of teams to keep clean sheets. So if you're just joining, these are my predictions. That's why it's very hard for me to pick defenders. I've gone for Copenhagen 1, Man City 3, Leipzig 1, Real Madrid 1, PSV 2, Dortmund 1, FC Porto 1, Arsenal 1, Inter 2, Atletico 1, Napoli 2, Barcelona 2, PSG 2, Sociedad 1, Lazio 1, Bayern 2. So I kind of expect every team to score. So we are kind of depending on things like goals and assists and ball recovery points, and Di Lorenzo is very good at ball recovery points. So that's another good pick for sure if you don't want defenders from those teams. But the rest of the teams like Dortmund, PSV, I don't expect any of them to really keep a clean sheet. To be fair, PSG might keep a clean sheet, so Hakimi is not bad. Because Sociedad, as someone said earlier, they've not scored a lot of goals recently, so PSG might be good still. This is always very tough, man. Every time I pick my team at the beginning of the season or the knockout stage or playing a wild card, it's so stressful. Even the limitless, it's so stressful trying to pick a team. You're like, who am I going to leave out? Who am I going to go for? You leave out this play, and you're not so sure about having them or not. It's very, very tricky. I'm looking at this Man City team. I'm like, Haaland is not enough. I'm really thinking of going for like 3-4 Man City players, to be honest. They are very good. Xavi Simons as well, we've not talked about him a lot. He's very good in terms of that midfield. Not sure how the game will go though. Kane, Fulkrug, Haaland, says Ray, Chananoglu, Kimmich, KDB, Emre, Saka. So finalized, not changing anything too much. Headache, says Ray. Ray says he's done with this. Sommer, Ederson, Gabriel, Cancelo, Kim. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. I'm not going to argue with that at all. I'm not going to argue with it. The Kimmich one, though, but yeah, you can stick with Kimmich if you prefer. Personally, I won't go for him. I had Sane the last week, but I took him out. I don't think I'm going to go for him. But as someone said, Bayern Munich are still doing well. It's just because Alonso and Leverkusen are doing incredibly well. Bot says Lunin or Kobel, Kepa might start second leg. The way Real Madrid don't like Kepa, I'm not sure he's even going to start any game at all. So I'm still going to go with Lunin. You have 3 transfers next time. So if by chance we get information that Kepa is the one who's going to start, you can always go with their second goalkeeper, or you can always make the change if you prefer. I'd still stick with Lunin. I'm scared of PSV. I feel like PSV are going to score a few goals in that game, so I'm going to go with Lunin. Ja, how are you? He says Sommer, Ederson, Ake. A lot of people have Sommer and Ederson. Ake, Saliba, Di Lorenzo, Pamecano, Madsen, Chananoglu, Zaire, Rodrigo, Mbappe. One spot left, 10.7 million. Can you help me with a bit of that money, Ja? Suggest changes to this team. So Mbappe, Rodrigo, Haaland. I don't have a problem with that forward line. Kimmich, Emre, Foden, Chananoglu. 10.7 million. How many players are this? You have 5 defenders, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 midfielders there. So you're missing 1 midfielder. Players like Thuram, you already have Chananoglu. So this is tough. This is so tough. I just have a bad feeling we are going to regret if we don't have De Bruyne. He didn't play the other day. He came on for like 20 minutes and he got an assist. They're playing against Chelsea this weekend, so maybe he could be served off early. Hopefully, then Foden and Haaland really help, because I'm so scared of not having De Bruyne. Defensive goalkeeper wouldn't change anything. Ake, Saliba, Di Lorenzo, Upamecano. I'm not so sure about Upamecano, man. I'm not sure about Upamecano in that Bayern defense against. I mean, Lazio are not the greatest team in terms of scoring goals, but I feel like they'll score. I usually try and look if you don't keep clean sheets, like how many goals do you score, how many assists do you score? That's why I look at the Gabriels and players like that. Kimmich is fine, but with 10.7 million, so your other midfielder, you already have PSG, Bayern. How much is De Bruyne? De Bruyne. Let me confirm how much De Bruyne and see if you can afford him. Midfielder is like 10 point something, right? 10.5. Ja, how many Man City players are those? Ederson, Ake, Foden, Haaland. This is what I'd do. I would change Ederson to another goalkeeper, and then I'd bring in De Bruyne. You have enough money to bring in De Bruyne, go for him. Just go for him. Have all 3 of them, Foden, Haaland, De Bruyne. I have a bad feeling they're going to score a lot of goals. So I'd go for De Bruyne if that helps. Trossard, is that Emery? I wouldn't go for Trossard because I'm not sure if he's going to start. So any other option is better than Trossard for now. Trossard is a very good player, but I'm not sure if he's going to start that first leg. DiMarco plus Ederson or Diaz plus Sommer? Diaz plus Sommer. I like the Sommer pick because Inter Milan can easily keep a clean sheet. And if he keeps a clean sheet, Atletico Madrid will have some shots. He'll get a save point at least. So I switched up KDB and Musiala. Oh, you brought in KDB. Removed Foden. Now 4.4 million for a defender. Which defenders did you have? Ake, Saliba, Di Lorenzo. I'd change Upamecano to another defender. I'd change Upamecano to Gabriel Ja. I need a midfielder for 8.7 million. Let me know how your rest of the midfield looks like, Telma. But if I'm just going to tell you without looking at your team, I'm going to go for Foden. Johnny says Foden or Odegaard. I'm going to go for Foden because of the fixture. De Bruyne if you have Haaland or Sane. De Bruyne if you have Haaland or Sane. De Bruyne if you have Haaland. I'd have both of them, De Bruyne and Haaland. Thoughts on Ryerson and Damian? Any other options for cheap defenders? Ake may be layered. Ake is a good option in terms of cheap cheap players. Ryerson, someone said Ryerson has been slightly better than Madsen, so any of them, I guess. But I don't like the Dortmund picks, to be honest, against PSV. So I'd say Ake. How about Emil Smith Rowe in midfield? No, he's even injured right now. Saka or Odegaard. Saka for sure is on penalties, but sometimes Odegaard takes Arsenal penalties. What's the time there? 10:30. Leah says Bay. Maybe Declan Rice, says Johnny. I do like Declan Rice as a pick. Let me reveal my next pick. I am so confused who to go for. This is going to be so hard, man. This is so hard to pick teams, man. I'm going to go for Napoli. Napoli. Where are you, Napoli? Welcome to my team, Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo is my next pick. Di Lorenzo is my next pick. I do like Declan Rice, John. He takes the set pieces these days, and he takes some incredible set pieces. It's crazy. Lunin. That's a dude. I've seen a couple of different players there. Rido. What do you think? Forward players, that is fine. Midfield, that is also fine. Defensively, Damian is interesting. Saliba, okay. I mean, I wouldn't make too many changes to that, Rido. So I do like. How many Man City players do you have? Well, you have KDB and Haaland. That is totally fine. You have Saka and Saliba. That is also totally fine. You have Chananoglu. I do like that team, Rido. I do like that team. I wouldn't really change anything. Kane, Haaland, Fulkrug, Diaz. So many of you are going for Brahim Diaz. I've not even considered him. Now you're really scaring me because I usually try and pick at least 5 players that many people would go for, and then I get my other differentials. De Bruyne, Foden, Sane, Emre, Walker, Rome, Hamels, Guerrero. Currently on a everyone is on a wild card, by the way, Rehan. 2.4 million in the bank. Loaning Cobel. So some other things that some people might not know. This time you're allowed 4 players from one team, and you're going to have 3 substitutions, 3 transfers, not like 2 transfers like it used to be in the group stage. 3 transfers ahead of the second leg. So those and you also have 105 million this time and not 100 million. 2.4 million in the bank. Strikers, that is fine. Oh, you've got to. Where the hell is Saka in your team, Rehan? You've got to have Saka. I'm not just saying that because I'm an Arsenal fan. You have to have him. These days, the way he plays, I captained him against West Ham, and he takes the penalties. Everything just goes through him. Every time we get the ball, we pass it to Saka. He takes corners from that right side as well. Arsenal have scored the most corners. You've got to have Saka. If you have Kane, I wouldn't. I'm kind of scared to suggest to you to take out Sane because Sane can be very explosive in the Champions League. But 2.4 million in the bank. How much is Saka? How much is? Why don't I know how much Saka is? Let me see if you can get to his price. Midfield. Saka. Oh, you can't get to Saka unless you take out Sane. I was thinking Diaz out, Saka in. 7, 8. Yeah, will you be able to get to Saka? How much is Diaz? Okay, let me just tell you this. If you're able to get to Saka from Diaz, do it. If you're not able to, I would take out Sane for Saka because you already have Kane. And I can see you don't have any other Arsenal attackers. Any essential defenders, says Liad? I don't necessarily think so. No, I don't think there's any player that you have to have, but I'd say there's teams that you have to have. So Man City, Arsenal, those are the teams that you have to have a defender from. There's a small option called autofill if you don't want to think, says Ray. Absolutely. Hell no. I don't want them to autofill for me. Bakayoko or Chananoglu, I'd go for Chananoglu, but I do like Bakayoko as a differential pick. Sommer plus which keeper then could bring in Foden instead of Musiala, but Ederson has a good chance of a clean sheet. Other goalkeepers, there's Ramiro at Sociedad is cheaper if you're looking for a cheaper goalkeeper. There's Kobel as well if you're looking for like cheaper goalkeepers, those two options. Or if you want David Dreyer, personally, I won't go for him, but David Dreyer is also capable of getting assists and stuff because of the passes. So yeah, those two options potentially. Ederson is quite expensive because if you go for Ederson in your team, you don't really have enough money to spread elsewhere, especially if you want De Bruyne in my team. I can reveal my next player right now, and that is Bukayo Saka. That is not a secret, right? Bukayo Saka was obviously going to be in my team. So Saka is the next player that I've revealed. I already have Foden, Thuram, Emre, and Saka. I was thinking Musiala, Chananoglu, Asensio, Bernardo Silva. I don't know. So many options. Exactly, man. Suarez, there are so many options. I'm here trying to answer your questions, and I've not even decided my own team because let me tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking De Bruyne. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get De Bruyne in that team. I'm seriously thinking De Bruyne. But to answer your question, I would, if you have Thuram, I don't think you have to go for Chananoglu. But from those four picks, I would go for Chananoglu and then Bernardo Silva as the second one. But you have Foden. Yeah, I mean, especially if you don't have De Bruyne, I don't think Bernardo Silva is bad. Haaland says Happy Valentine's Day. For some of you, it's already Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you as well. But 14th of February is usually Champions League Day for us. It's not Valentine's Day. It's usually Champions League Day for us. When it gets to 14th, I usually think about Champions League, not Valentine's Day. Whenever I own Saka, he doesn't do anything. And everyone around him scores. Really, Rehan? I've never seen Saka not contributing. I think he has 26 goal contributions in 31 games, especially this season. Let me just check. I mean, match day 6 he didn't play, so maybe if you had him there. Match day 3, yeah. I mean, unless you had him in match day 2, or even match day 2, he got an assist. So he only didn't contribute in one game that he played in. But look at this: 11 points, 14 points, 12 points. And Saka, he will always play. Like Saka, we don't bench him, so you never have to fear him getting benched, and he always plays 90 minutes. Openda, I do like that pick. I'm kind of respecting Real Madrid a bit, but if you want a differential striker, Openda is an option, Fulkrug is an option, De Jong is an option. But Openda, differential, yes, but it depends on how many other differentials you have, John. If you don't really have too many, then Openda could be good. I mean, he scored twice against Man City, so he can score against Madrid, I'm sure. Soma, Donnarumma. Oh, you're the first person to have Donnarumma that I've seen, Ja. Ake, Saliba, Di Lorenzo, Madsen, Kim, KDB, Chananoglu, Zaire, Emre, Kimmich, Foden, Haaland, Rodrigo, Mbappe. Suggest changes. Haaland, Foden, Kimmich, Emre. I wouldn't change the midfield. Maybe only Donnarumma, Ja. I feel like how much is Donnarumma? I feel like it's a bit expensive and you can save a bit of cash. Remember, as you said, you don't have to use all your money. If you're happy with your team and you even have 1 million in the bank, keep it. You might need it in the later stages, second leg and even quarterfinals, especially second leg. You might come to a situation where, I don't know, if you don't have Odegaard or De Bruyne and they score a lot of goals in this first leg, and the second leg someone is injured and they're definitely going to play, but you don't have enough money, that 1 million or 1.5 million that you have in the bank might help you. So in your situation, Ja, I would potentially take out Donnarumma. 6 million is a lot of money. I feel like 6 million is a lot of money for a goalkeeper because it only needs Sociedad to score one goal and that's it. So I would downgrade Donnarumma to a different goalkeeper and then save that extra money for later. Kim to Di Lorenzo and Kimmich to Diaz and have a closer to no more. So Ray is about to close the website. So Kim to Di Lorenzo and Kimmich to Diaz, final team. That sounds good. You finally changed Kimmich. Interesting. Best midfield and forward enablers. Zaire is a good enabler. Thuram is a good enabler. Forward, I'd say Alvarez is not starting though. That's the problem. Diaz is also a good enabler in midfield. Forward, there's not too many. Maybe how much is Fulkrug? Striker. I don't think Fulkrug is that cheap. I don't think there's too many forward enablers. The Fulkrug, that's not really an enabler. I don't think there's too many enablers forward line Liad. So one of the reasons they're giving you 105 million in the knockout stage is because most of the cheaper players have gone out. That's one of the reasons they usually give you that more money, right? In the knockout stages, because all these strikers, look at these strikers, Vinicius, Mbappe, Griezmann, you have to pay some money to get these players. You have to. Martinelli is 8.5 million, but I don't like the fact that he's a striker in the game and he plays winger. And there's not too many options. Openda 7.8 million. How much are you considering? How much do you consider a forward enabler? Are you looking for like 6 million? If Alvarez was playing, I'd say Alvarez, but I don't think there's too many strikers who are starting that are less than 7 million. So Fulkrug, Openda, maybe there's not too many. Yes, I mean, if you're considering like the other strikers that are too expensive, like Vinicius and Mbappe, I guess 7.5 million is enabling because those other strikers are very expensive. So I'd say De Jong at 8 point something million, Fulkrug, and also Openda. Doing a crazy experiment in my experimental team: Haaland, KDB, Foden, Kane, Saka, Mbappe, White. White can get you an assist. Emery, Kim, Ake, Sula, Soma, and Lunin. Interesting. Personally, I don't like having two teams. I just like having just one team. Soma, Donnarumma, Ake. By the way, if I've answered your question, make sure to hit the like button. I already suggested changes for Ja, right? Inter Milan defender, DiMarco Johnny. It's UCL day. Good luck to you too, Suarez. Who are your differentials? I mean, find out. Just make sure to stay in the stream. I mean, is Thuram differential? How many people have Thuram? 9%. I don't think I'll go for too many differentials. I don't think I have any differentials really. Maybe the most biggest differential is like 9 million or something. Or if this helps, my best differential, I guess, if you're considering 10% around their differential, is maybe someone like a Bernardo Silva or someone like an Odegaard or something like that. But I'm not sure if I'm going to go for them. The girlfriend is football, though, Haaland. That's the girlfriend, football. Opinion on Lamine Yamal. I mean, Barcelona score goals, so I don't think it's a bad option, and it's a slightly cheaper option. Harry Kane forward, good option, expensive. I think it's a good option. Harry Kane is always a good option because he always scores. So he's always a good option. But if you feel like you can save money, if you don't have Harry Kane in your team, that allows you to have De Bruyne and all those other guys. Best do two defenders, each 5 million. I'd say Ake and it's so tough. Again, just like I said to someone earlier, there's not too many cheaper options right now. Not too many. The cheaper options are like 5.5 million. So if you're looking for 5 million defenders, I'd say Ake and maybe Damian. Spare money in the bank when you have a good team, even 0.5 million is always useful. Yeah, you feel like you don't need it, but you're going to need it even if it's just 0.5 million. Is Yamal cheap? I mean, compared to players like De Bruyne, yes, he's cheaper in terms because most players right now like 10 million, 11 million. And in terms of his price in the game right now, in terms of knockout, I think he is cheap. Barcelona. 7.4 million is cheap for this game in terms of wingers. Ramiro, Pena, Ake, Magalhaes. Forward line, I don't mind. Yamal, Thuram, Foden, Saka, Damian, Cancelo. I don't mind this team. I like, there's not too many standouts that I'm thinking you need to remove. So I'd keep the same team. Good option, Halle. Very good goal. Happy for him that he won AFCON. For that game against PSV, no, but for the second leg, potentially. Nice to see you, Arnold. I think I'll go with Soma, Remiro, Ake, Kim, KDB, Foden, Kimmich, Zaire, Saka, Haaland, Vinicius. That looks good. Halle or Penda? I'd go for Penda. Thoughts on having Simmons plus money so I can transfer him out to Bellingham next week? Good idea, Liad. Exactly what I'm saying. Next time you will need to bring back Bellingham and you'll need money. So you also need to make sure you don't have too many expensive players that you'll need to take out. Kane, Haaland, and Vinicius. I need Mbappe in my team. No, you don't necessarily need Mbappe. I don't think Sociedad concede a lot of goals. So those three are good. Roque, good option. Haaland. Vinicius or Rodrigo? Depends on the rest of the team. I'd go for Vini, but just because it's slightly cheap, I'd go for Rodrigo. I prefer Rodrigo. No Kane, though, and that scares me. Yeah, it scares me as well. And I'm thinking of going without him because if you don't have Kane, you can have De Bruyne. But if you have Kane, it's very difficult to have De Bruyne and Haaland as well. Mbappe or Vini. You know what? That's such a difficult question to answer, but I'm just going to say Mbappe because he's at home. First leg and then second leg Vinicius. I'm going to prepare for the Madrid match. Thank you as always, Ray. Now, Kane is a great option because he's on penalties. He's always a great option. But if you want De Bruyne, you might have to take out Kane. Final team, Rodrigo, Kane, Haaland is Foden, Lenin. That looks good. I wouldn't make too many changes from that FIFA, but Kane, Mbappe. From those two, I'd still go for Kane. It's very difficult to pick the team, guys. It's absolutely difficult. I'm going to go for another Arsenal player. I'm sorry. I'm not being biased. I just feel like we're playing well so far. And Odegaard, I'm going to go for him at 9.1 million. That's my next reveal. I guess it's a differential. The other 5 players, I literally do not know. Lunin or Remiro says stream. Remiro. I'd go for Remiro. I fear the Real Madrid attack more than I fear the which other team is that? So yeah, I fear more than I fear the PSG attack. So I expect maybe Remiro to concede less than Lunin. More than I fear the Leipzig. I think Leipzig will score. I think both Leipzig and PSG will score. But I'm going to go for Remiro from that. Be bold, take 4 Arsenal players. Nah, second leg maybe. First leg, no, I'm not going to be that biased. So this is my team so far. I'm going to end it 10 minutes before the deadline so that I can pick my final players that I don't know. I need to concentrate. But send in your final questions. I'm going to post my final team on the community tab. You're only not going to see 4 players in this live stream, but you'll see at least 10 or 11 of them. Not many great options for captaincy on 20th February. 20th February, that's when teams are playing on that day. UCL fixtures. Is it the day Inter Milan play? You're allowed to go for differential on that day, Leah. Cheap defenders, Ake. There's not too many, Johnny. Maybe Ake and Madsen. So PSV, Dortmund, Inter, Atletico. Yeah, you're probably right, but the likes of Lautaro Martinez and Thuram are great, and PSV also. If you have a PSV player, it could be great in terms of differential. Diaz, Rea, or Ake, Ederson. Ruben Diaz, Rea. I'd go for. City seems to be getting a clean sheet, but Ake doesn't seem like a long-term option. Yeah, it's not a long-term option, but he allowed 3 subs next time, so he's been playing in the Champions League. But you never know. Diaz might play one leg and doesn't play the other leg as well. So the only players there who are guaranteed are Ederson and Rea, and I'd go for the one for Diaz and Rea because Arsenal, Man City. Will Leipzig score 2 or more goals? I've predicted 1-1. Cancelo, Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo for me. So I'm going to reveal my final pick, and then I'm going to run away to finish to try and get for my team finalized. I'm not sure I'm going to have. I need to like check Twitter and check injuries and stuff if there's anyone. Goalkeeper, I've gone for Soma and I've gone for Ramiro as well. So Ramiro is also in my team. Ramiro. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Glenn Kitely, and we can enjoy the Champions League games together. So that's the Twitter. You can follow on Twitter. That's the Twitter. How many players have I revealed so far? 6, 7, 8, 9. I am so confused because of the strikers. I literally want 5 strikers in my head and I can only have 3. I'm thinking Kane, I'm thinking Mbappe, I'm thinking Vinicius, I'm thinking De Jong. I literally do not know who I'm going to go for. It's going to be so hard. Even midfield, I'm so scared of going without De Bruyne as well. With this team, I have 43.8 million remaining. Those are enough Arsenal players. I definitely will go for a third Man City player. I'm just thinking whether it's going to be Foden or De Bruyne. Should I go for... Yeah, I'm going to reveal my last player. I'm going to go for a Leipzig player just because he's on set pieces. He's been very good for me in the Champions League this season. I'm going to stick with Rome. So that's my 4 defenders, my 3 midfielders, and my forward player. The others I'm going to decide in the next 10 minutes. Soma, Baron. Is De Lorenzo worth it? Yes, for sure. If I take De Lorenzo instead of Cancelo, then I would be able to change Rodri to Vinicius. Hey, look at that, FIFA bots. We found a solution for you. You can go for it. Any news on Alphonso Davies? I don't think so, but I mean, I don't like that Bayern defense for that Lazio game. I've not checked any news for Alphonso Davies. Was he injured? A lot of people are going for Kim. So far, I've not seen anyone going for Davies, but let me check if there's anything on him. Dortmund defenders worth it? Personally, for the first leg, I'd say no. Second leg, yes. Rodrigo differential captain for today if I want to increase my rank, and Mbappe tomorrow if that fails, and Saka if even that fails. I mean, I'm sure all of them will not fail. That's the thing. So you can have one option on the good thing is now we allowed 4 captains. So at least one of them is going to deliver. Hopefully, the best one delivers today. And Saka. So yeah, if you want differentials, you can go for a differential. Potentially not today. Today you just go for Haaland, De Bruyne, or Vinicius. Don't go for differential really, and because you might go for Foden and then Haaland scores a hat trick and then you're in trouble. Thanks for your suggestions and best of luck, Glenn. Same to you. FIFA bots: Reyes, Soma, Ake Diaz, Saliba, Hakimi, Saka, Thuram, Kimmich, Haaland, Kane, and 1.2 million in the bank. As I said earlier, Luis, you can always keep money in the bank. It will help you in the future. Kimmich, Thuram, Saka, Hakimi, Saliba, Diaz. It would be so easy if Bellingham was fit. I just have Bellingham and I'd stop stressing about it. Okay, Diaz. I think that's good enough. I think you have most of the teams that I'd go for. As long as you have at least 2-3 Man City players, 2 Arsenal players, that looks good, Louis. You can keep the money in the bank. It's going to help you, especially to get Bellingham back and players like that. Good luck, says Baron. You're welcome, Hamad. Make sure to hit the like button as always and follow me on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, I don't call it X, I call it Twitter. Johnny says Ramiro, Soma, Matson, DiMarco, Ake, Saliba, Di Lorenzo, Foden, De Bruyne, Yamal, Saka, Chanonoglu, Kane, Haaland, Openda. Defensively, that's fine. Midfield, I don't think I'm going to go for Yamal personally, but you having Foden and De Bruyne really scares me. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get De Bruyne in my team. Saka, Kane, Haaland, Openda. I don't think there's anyone that you've really missed out on. So That looks good to me. I'm also kind of trying to protect rank because I want to go to the top 1,000. And if I go for too many differentials, I'm a bit scared. That's also another reason. But that team looks good, Johnny. Depending on if you want to climb rank, you can go for a couple of differentials. Like that team. You're welcome, Hamad. 8 minutes left. I think you need to go, says Baron. Thanks, RK. I really appreciate it. Guys, I really appreciate you watching. I'll post my final team in the community tab. I need to go finalize my team. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one. I think there's a last question there. Good luck, says RK. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.